Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, April 27th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do all day, every day. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there. I also have Goodreads and Pinterest and all that jazz if you want to follow me and see what I get up to. I also work at a yarn store. I forgot to mention that last week, I think, but I do. It's the Modern Skein in Montgomery, Texas. Currently, the shop is closed, but we are doing curbside from 10 to noon, Tuesday to Saturday. So if you are local or if you are just wanting to come and drive and pick up something, we can bring your stuff out to you if you would like to do that. That is very awesome. I also have show notes that'll be on my blog. So if you're on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below, and if you are on my blog already, everything is already there. I do have a fair amount to show you. I feel like it's the same as last week. I don't feel like there's a lot to show you, but I know that physically there's a lot of knitting that has happened. And so I don't feel like I'm going to talk about a lot, but I felt the same way last week, and then I had over an hour of discussion. So who knows what will happen today? I do not know. I just know that I do have some knitting to show you and just fun things in general. So, yes. I don't really have, I have a little bit of baking to talk about. I don't really have any books to talk about, really. I could, I guess. We'll mention it. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how long this goes. Anyway, so if you like to go grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, an animal to snuggle, something to craft upon, or laundry to fold, or all of the above, whatever you would so desire. If I didn't mention any of those things, you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So, first off, I have a finished object. You know, because we have to sing about it. Fun fact about me, I like to sing pretty much anything, so that is in regular conversation. Granted, I don't do that around everyone. I don't really do that out in public a ton unless I know you very well. But when I'm at home with Sam, like I have been for the past, I don't know how many weeks, I've been singing quite a lot. And so things just kind of come out singing, you know? It just happens. I just think it's funny to turn things into songs and little tunes, and it brings me joy and it makes Sam laugh sometimes. So yes, a little bit about me. Now you know. I do have a finished object that is blocked. None of the ends are woven in, and I mean the ends are woven in. I just need to trim them because I wove them in as I went. You know, as you do. So this is a test knit that I am doing for Lindsay of Lost and Fond. She designed the Bennett sister shawl and the Bronte sister shawl, if you are familiar with those. This is the Lost Pine. Ooh, I don't actually remember the name of it now. I thought I did. I don't. Ports and Pine cowl, excuse me. So I showed this to you last week. I was pretty close to being done. I had done the fancy math and decided that I needed to do 10 rows a day in order to get it done by Thursday, last Thursday, which definitely happened. I was very proud of myself, pat on the shoulder for that. And I for sure ran out of yarn. So I kind of made it work, and granted, it's not quite what I had expected just because I did run out of yarn, but that's okay. You know what? It will be fine. We made it work. So here's the top bit that looks really great, and then you add the bottom bit, and it's just like, I don't know. I'm super blown out right now. I mean, it's definitely not a bad look by any means, but I would have really liked to have had all of the red as the background color. So this is just a plain colorwork cowl. You can, let's turn it inside out and you can see my floats because that's a thing. Ta-da! Ta-da! I definitely, there are some very long floats in here, and so what I did was I just picked them up from the row below. So I just kept my floats long and hanging out, loosey-goosey, which felt super weird, but then on the row afterwards I just picked them up and knit them into the piece. So things were caught, things have been tucked down, it's totally fine. The main color that I have, the red, is Madeline Tosh DK, and then the bottom is Barocco Ultra Alpaca DK. And then my contrasting color is Noro, which I know it's like not really showing up. It's just because it's really light. Like the past couple times, here, let's see if I can close that even more. Is that better? Oh yeah, that's a little better. Like I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's very pretty. I'm super happy with how it turned out. It still needs to be photographed and all that jazz, but yeah. It's just very fun. It's a very fun pattern. It's not mindless because a lot of color work is not mindless, but that's okay because, like I said, color work is not mindless. That's just not something that color work is. And I have said in the past that I have been preferring to knit color work two-handed because this is the motion for two-handed color work, you know. But I didn't do that with this one. I only did it on like the tops and bottoms where it was just like a one by one stitch of the two different colors. The rest of them I just knit with my one hand, and because I needed to follow the pattern, and it wasn't like a set repeat of whatever. I needed to follow it pretty carefully. So I was just like, okay, well, we're just not going to worry about tension at all here and stick with one hand because I need to focus. And so I did, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. Next up, also not sure when that pattern is coming out, but I will let you guys know. Next up, I have my Helix something pullover by Rosemary. It is called the, she didn't put it on this Instagram post, but that is not her fault. This is my fault. I should look this up. It's the Helix something pullover. I do know that. I just don't have all this information on my phone. But this is designed by Rosemary, or Roos. Her Instagram username is the woolly one with a period in between those words. She has incredible designs. And if you tuned into last week's episode, you would be very aware of my great hesitation and a little, not fear, but maybe a little concern about my lack of experience with brioche charts. that fear has been conquered now, everyone. I am not a pro, nor could I really explain to someone what, like if you were to hold up a piece of brioche and like pointed to a stitch and I could be like, it's for sure that symbol. I could not do that. But I mean, I know my rhythm now with this chart. I know what I need to do. I know how like it works best for me. And I've made quite a bit of progress considering that I have 3 separate charts to follow within one row, and all that gets repeated twice. So there's a lot to keep track of. This is not for the faint of heart, I will say that. But let's just be aware that patterned brioche is one of the most satisfying things ever. When I say patterned brioche, what I mean is something that looks like this and creates a beautiful picture, and just like a fun design. Like, how cool is that? I would say that I have had a fair amount of experience with brioche in general. That being said, I am not very good at explaining it to people about like the science behind the brioche stitch, if you will. Like, I don't fully understand how it works. I just know what to do to make it correct. I'm sure we all have things like that, right? Like, this was another fun fact about me. This was literally the story of my life in regards to learning math growing up. I like could not do geometry. Geometry was the bane of my existence. I hated it so much. It was the worst. But any kind of like algebra, I was very good at. Like, I still hated it because I hate math. But like, if I have a formula and if I know how it works and I know like the pattern and the rhythm that you plug in the numbers into the X and the Y and all that jazz and you find the answer lickety split, easy peasy. I was super good at that. And I feel like that is kind of similar to me and brioche. Like, granted, I do love brioche. I don't hate brioche. Like, I hate math. And granted, hate is a very strong word, so maybe let's not go that far. But my relationship with math has definitely gotten better over the years. Funny story. What was I saying? Oh, like, I know the formula, if you will, or like the rhythm of how brioche works. I know how to move my hands, and the muscle memory takes over, and I know what I need to do. Could I explain it to someone? And could I like fix very intense problems? Not intense problems, that sounds really bad, but like mistakes that happen further down and like unravel and like you would in regular knitting, that just pop a stitch down and unravel it and then pick it back up. I don't think I could do that at all. It might take me several hours. Granted, I haven't like really sat down and tried, but again, like looking at that, like if I were to like take a swatch of brioche, for example, like just make one to try and work on being able to rip down and then pick all that stuff back up. I don't even know where I would start, really, because there's so many strands of yarn that are like twisted within each other, and then they go like opposite directions, and then what if I get the wrong one going the wrong direction, and like I don't know. Hello, would you like to come join the podcast and talk about some brioche with me? Would you like to come up here? Come on. You're taking the long way around. You could just come over there. Hello, come on. Are you just gonna take your sweet time? Yeah, you should come around the other way because it's easier for you to get here. Hello. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. I know you can. Come on. Good boy. Oh, hello. Have you just hopped into my lap? Is there a dog barking? Oh, I love you. The way that the camera is set up, I don't really know how easily I can angle it down for you to see the cat, which makes me very sad. But I also don't want to disturb the cat. Ooh, you smell like kitty litter. That's gross. I know. Can we, like, adjust this? I don't know. Oh, do you want to sit on my knitting? Is that what you want to do? Hi. Hello. Hello. Boop. I don't know if you can see him or if he is tall enough, but he's, like, full on my lap right now. Even more so, full on. Wow, you went to the opposite leg. Okay, wow, so we're just having a balancing act right now. And now we're going back the other way. Okay. Oh, I just love you. There he is. Just a birdie. The birdie boo. Oh, I love you. Birdie, would you like to share with us your experience with Brioche? Do you have any tips and tricks that you would like to share with the world? What do you think? What do you think, Birdie? I hope the kitties. Oof! He's like, yes, just don't move me off of your lap unless I want to go. You want to sit right there? Uh-oh. Yarn is falling. Okay, let's figure this out so I can show you guys. Okay, now we have an animal. You know. Now are you going to hop back up on my lap? Or are you just going to sit right there? There we go. Good boy. But now we can't see my face, so just lay down like this. You know. Oh, birdie! Birdie boo! So, I know! I love you. I know! Hi! Did you just really want to be part of the podcast? Or is it that you couldn't jump up on the bed and so you just came for the second best option? Because I know you love the bed. Oh, wow. Hi. Yes. Hello. I'm sorry, we're getting very distracted here. But we do have a very cute little child. Kitten child. Oh, I love you so much. Oh. And you can see he's putting his paw on my arm. Everyone, what was I talking about? Brioche, its comparisons to math, and the formulas. So I'm not an expert at brioche by any means. It's like I don't understand it well enough to really show someone that's not just like play around with it until it works. Like with knitting, I'm sorry, I realize you can't like really see my face when I'm sitting back like this. Hello. It's just that the birdie's too cute. We just, I got the kitties. I'm back. The cat has moved to the side. I know this is not going to seem like I was gone for a while, recording-wise, but it has been a couple minutes. My mom is very kindly making masks for the family, which has been really wonderful, and so she was just talking about length and how that works and what did I think and all that jazz, and it was just really wonderful. Thank you, Mama, for making us masks. Anyway, so the cat has moved down. Get a little shot of him. Boop! There he is. Also, quickly to mention these overalls because this is my first day wearing them, but I never want to take them off. Oh my goodness, they are so comfortable. They're from Not Perfect Linen. I love their stuff. This is literally just my second piece of theirs, but it is so comfortable. I have a dress from them that I got for Christmas, and I actually got these overalls for my birthday back in February from my parents, but just recently got them because of distancing and not being able to see my parents for a while, but we were able to meet up with them safely, of course, and distantly give each other packages of things that we've been collecting for each other. Like I had a bunch of yarn for my mom and stuff like that. So I got my overalls. I am so happy. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how comfortable they are. They're 100% linen. They're handmade. The quality is impeccable. It is a higher price point, but it's like super, super high quality linen, and it's handmade. And I know without a doubt, these items that I have will last forever. Forever. So anyway, I just wanted to share that because I am just very pleased with my overalls, and I just really love the color. I love it with this purple. I'm just really feeling happy pop today. You know, things you gotta do for a Monday to power through and get through your to-do list. Anyway, I know I was talking about math and brioche and figuring out the formula, and I just am not super good at the science again behind brioche, but I can do it, and I know how to do it and what works well for me. So yes, this has been a super fun test knit so far. I've learned quite a bit. Refreshers, did an intense increase that I think created 5 stitches. But with brioche increases, it's really not that hard, because you just yarn over. Oh my, that created quite a poof. I have very dirty hair, so we mask it with dry shampoo and curls. You know, we do what we gotta do. So what to talk about next? I don't know. One thing that I have been really enjoying, this is the little pleasures in life, right? Okay, so I've been rotating through different projects to work on, which I'll show you all these projects. But what I've been doing is I've been keeping them all in one bag and just carrying this bag around with me, because I do things in different rooms in the apartment. I will sit in here. This is where I do all my online hangouts with the Modern Skein, and I do Zoom calls. I talk to friends. I'll set up my phone on on the tripod that this camera's on actually, and I'll do FaceTime that way. The lighting is really good in here. Most important, the lighting is really good. Also, I love this chair. I was talking to a friend yesterday. I don't know. It was some day that has happened in the past. Don't know which day. But before all this happened, I didn't really use this little nook portion. It's literally like an offshoot of our bedroom. So over behind the camera is our bed and all that jazz. And there's dressers and a closet. But we had this all set up. The thought was that it was gonna be a super fun little nook that I would hang out in all the time. Never happened. Mainly this chair was used for a cat bed or putting laundry on. So that tells you anything. I know we all have places like this in our house or in our bedrooms. It just happens. But with being home all the time, and like needing space to do things, because like Sam would be on a work call and I would need to do stuff with the shop, or I would need to talk to someone or something like that. We needed to be kind of separated. So he has his stuff set up in the kitchen, at the kitchen table, and then I could come in here and shut the door because sound still carries, and do my business. And I really have just loved sitting in this chair, because this chair has been with me since high school, maybe. It's gone through several covers, because this is an IKEA chair. It started off having a black and white striped cover, and now it has a gray cover. I got the gray cover when I went to college. So that was a long, long time ago. This chair has served its purpose. I have loved this chair very well. I've read in this chair so much, and now I've knit in this chair a ton. In high school, in college, and now in my married adult life. So we have come full circle. We will probably have this chair for forever, because it is wonderful. So I'm really glad that I can do that. What was I talking about? I don't remember. Wasn't chairs, I do know that, but yes, so I can carry this bag of all the projects that I'm working on around to in here, in the living room, next to the bed, all that jazz. Oh my goodness, you are so curled up. Ooh, I just love you so much. Pop my Kindle in there. I just like throw everything in there that I need to move, and I migrate. Which is really nice, because like I'll do all my stuff in here during the daytime. There's like no light fixtures in here besides the fan, so it gets really dark in this corner at night, and so I take my stuff. I know I could put a lamp over here, but our lamps and light bulb situation is very low at the moment. All the lamps are being used in their spots. And now, at this current time, lamps are not a super big priority. You know? I mean, it may be for you, but it is not top of our priority list. So, yes, grab my bag, throw all my stuff in there, migrate to the living room. We watch something like The Tiger King or Waco, which we're currently watching, which is just so good, so sad, insane. Or we watch other things like stuff on Disney Plus. We watch Making the Cut on Amazon Prime, which if you are a longtime Project Runway lover like myself, you will love Making the Cut. It is similar enough to Project Runway to give you all the Project Runway vibes and feels that you love so dearly, but so different at the same time that it's like, this is new. But we have Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum, and oh my goodness, we love Tim Gunn. If you haven't seen Making the Cut, I would highly recommend it. It's still very design heavy. It is so good, so good. And it just finished recently, which is very sad. So we enjoyed watching those episodes as they came out. It's just so good. Anyway, I have my bag. I had my bag full of stuff. I carry it around. It's really wonderful. It's in a Marks and Spencer's bag that I don't know where, or not Marks and Spencer's, excuse me, Fortnum and Mason bag that I don't remember where this came from. I'm pretty sure I did not get this. I think my parents might have brought this to me. Or this was a bag that we have had for a long time. I don't remember. But I love it. Because it's like super sturdy. It's very stiff. It sits up very nicely. The handles are soft. It's great. It holds a ton of projects. I think there's like 5 projects in here. Maybe 4. Only 4. But that's okay. They're all really big. It holds 2 sweaters, a shawl, and a cowl. And it can hold more because it also holds things like my Kindle and my water bottle and headphones when I move. Anyway, let's move on because I've talked too much about this bag. So that was my first project to show you. Next up, this has some side discussions because I have some progress keepers that I want to show you guys because I just can't get over how cute these are. This is my Anna's Cardigan by Petite Knit. I'm knitting it out of Drops Charisma. And oh my goodness. So I haven't really made a ton of progress since last time I showed you. I do have a progress keeper. I've got 2 of them, in fact. Ta-da! It's a sweater. Yay! I'm very excited about this. I really like the yarn. I love the color. It's kind of like a pumicey color. Oops, sorry. You were sleeping. I'm very sorry. So, this was last time I showed you. No. This was the progress that I made last time I showed you. I then put in one of my new progress keepers from Little Bitty Delights, who is like, she makes the cutest things, and she's the sweetest person ever, and she makes the most delicious looking coffee every single morning. And she always puts it on her Instagram story. And every time I watch it, regardless of what day or what time of day it is, I'm like, ooh, I could go for some coffee right now. So if you do not follow her on Instagram, please go follow her because you get to see, also, she does little videos of how she makes her progress keepers. And I don't know about you, but I just really find those kinds of videos really soothing and just very relaxing and just like, oh, it's so tiny and it's so creative and she's making that and I can watch and it's so cool. Please go follow her on Instagram. You will not regret it. Anyway, so she recently did a special group of progress keepers called Mermaid Cakes, and when she posted about them, it was just like, oh my goodness, they are so cute. We must get them. So my mom and I each got one, and here they are. Okay, this is gonna be tricky because it's also kind of blown out, but there's the side, there's the front or the back. Ooh, that kind of helps. There we go. The side, and then there's like a little pearl and a shell on the top. This is, okay, this is very difficult. I think it's because the light is like right there. There's a window over there if you were wondering. But like, she does such a good job. Like, it looks like a cake. And then like the back is just so cute and like the icing looks super accurate and I just can't even. This other one that I have on here is also hers. It is a coffee with a sparkly donut on it. I don't know if you can see the sparkles, but there are sparkles. I love it. And then also, before the mermaid cake, I got 2 and one of them is on my cowl that I get to show you, but I also got a cinnamon roll because if you have been a viewer of the podcast for any amount of time, you may know that I do love cinnamon rolls, especially sourdough cinnamon rolls. They are my favorite. But yeah, like, she just does an incredible job. She is so creative and so good at what she does. Would highly recommend. So, and then I have another one on another project that I will show you. So yeah, I haven't really worked very much on this. I've really kind of been, I don't know, I kind of lost my steam on this project just because I think I measured it too soon and I felt really sad about how much longer I had to go, and so I was like, I'm gonna set this aside. Also because they had test knits. Let's pretend it's the test knits, and not that I feel bad about how much more I have to go. I did find 2 extra balls of yarn, so I'm not worried about yarn at all. Because I think I mentioned that last week. But I know I'm getting close. I need to try it on and just try it on. But that would require me getting my act together and not being lazy. But I'm losing stitches. There we go. Stitches have been saved. So yes, Anna's Cardigan, Petite Knit, Drops Charisma from Slip Stitch in London. Loving it. Little Bitty Delights, Progress Keepers. Please go check out her Instagram and her website. You will not regret it. It's living in a Ginger Twist Studios bag. And I know she's doing online orders. It's a yarn store in Edinburgh. And it's just so wonderful. So she's also doing online orders as well. Next up, I knit 4 rows on this. A lot of progress. But it's something, and I'm going to show it to you. I think maybe it was more than four rows. It might have been 2 rows. That's okay, because I'm pulling it out to work on it. This is my Powder and Dust shawl by Vera Valimaki. I'm knitting this as a knit along with a friend from the yarn store. So she is making one, but at different colors. I have Life in the Long Grass, Sugar Plum Circus, and then my last color will be this Peepaloo Fields, which will be my last color. In the grand scheme of things, I'm very close to finishing. I'm on the last lace section, and there are 5 rows of these little flower guys, and I am starting my 3rd row. So in this last lace section, I will start the 3rd color. That's exciting. And then there's like a massive garter stitch border. So it's just that I feel like it somehow lines up that when I have a lot of books that I want to read with my eyes opposed to with my ears. You know, audiobook talk. Books that I want to read with my eyes on my Kindle, I always have a ton of them when I'm really dying to work on things like this. When I'm in the middle of a lace section and it's like, I can't do that. I may be able to read in it at the same time, but I cannot do lace and read at the same time. I am not that skilled. Maybe someday, but I really don't know if I want to even try that. That sounds like a lot. So I just really need a lot of ebooks. Not ebooks, audiobooks. And so, but then also it flips, and so when I have a lot of audiobooks coming into my library, or if I find them on Scribd or whatever, or even the same with like YouTube videos, when like I have my to watch list, like it gets real big, all the stuff that I want to work on is the simple stuff that would be back and forth, which would go with the stuff when I want to read, when I have a bunch of books. And all the other stuff would happen when I want to work on these things. But no, it never works that way. That sounded incredibly whiny. I don't mean it in a complainy way. I'm just stating it as a fact of life, and it's just a fact of life. Yes, also, we can also acknowledge that I have been playing not a lot of Animal Crossing, but I have been playing a fair amount of Animal Crossing, which definitely cuts down on the knitting time, for sure. That being said, I can listen to audiobooks and other stuff while I play Animal Crossing, which I have every intention of doing that as soon as I'm done recording. No shame. I haven't gotten, so I know a little bit more about how the online thing works, thanks to a friend who she gave me some information of how the Nintendo Live thing works. I don't have that currently. I am planning on getting it, so when that happens, I will have a friend code, I think. I don't know how that works. Other than I have one, and I know I can get friend codes from other people. And in doing so, you can come to my island. I have pears. Would you like some pears? I know that there's things about like special fish that you can get from other people's islands depending on where they live than the fish that you have at your island. And maybe the same thing with butterflies. I don't know. All I know is that I just really love playing Animal Crossing. It just brings me so much joy. But it does take away from the knitting time, which is the downside. So we just kind of have to pick and choose, you know? But I have been really enjoying it. So yes, Powder and Dust, Vera Valimaki, lots of fun. Working on the lace bit right now. Last lace bit, so that's good. Last up, I have a new cast on, everybody. And look at this bright, happy bag where we dream of going on vacations and not having to worry about pandemics and all the sadness in the world. And we can just think of all the beautiful time in the sun that we can have reading on the beach or traveling to somewhere like the mountains or literally traveling anywhere. So that's why I picked this bag. It's also on the top of my bag box. Also, look at these. It's like flip-floppies. And look at this. This is the new cast on, everybody. I actually cast it on. Last week, there was a discussion. I had a discussion to you, and you were very kind, and you listened to me while I ranted and raved about a lot of things last week. But in particular, I talked about how finishing things has brought me more joy than casting on things. And if you were in the cast on party, cast on all the things, more power to you. If that brings you joy, go for that. That is wonderful. But just finishing a lot of things or trying to make a lot of progress and lower my whips and stuff like that right now has been bringing me more joy. But I did acknowledge and I realized that I needed to cast something on, that like casting on something small would bring me joy, and I needed to stop like focusing on the serious task of finishing things and just enjoy something that didn't have a deadline, enjoy something that was brand new. And here I have my honey cowl. This is special souvenir yarn that I got from Hill Country Weavers in January when we were there in Austin for a friend's wedding. So I had very fond memories of this trip. It was a really fun time. The wedding was super fun, and then just the morning that I got this was just, Sam and I had a really great time. So, because there's just so many fun breakfast places and coffee shops and all that jazz in Austin. It's super fun. So this is Life on the Long Grass DK in the Wolf colorway. So very neutral, but with like pops of yellow and gray and black and almost like a rusty orange color, and bits of green as well. I would assume that this is more along the lines of like a wolf eye, maybe? I don't actually know that. But that's what I think of when I see this color. But like, can we even, there we go, that's very accurate. And then we have this little guy, which is also a little bitty delights, and it is a strawberry Pop-Tart. Let's see. And it's got a bite taken out of it. And it's so cute. So yes, this was my progress. Obviously you haven't seen this at all, so this is not really marking a ton of progress because all of this is progress. But this I put in on, I don't remember. Maybe Friday? Maybe Saturday? No. Friday. Maybe Thursday? No, I think it was Friday. So I got a lot done Saturday. And actually, I don't really think I knit on this on Saturday. I think this was just mainly on Sunday. So I'm really loving it. I'm also loving my stitch marker as well, which I actually got from the Knitting Cup in Georgetown, which is very close to Austin, that I actually got when Sam and I went on a trip there over Memorial Day last year, which seems like forever ago. I think it was Memorial Day. Labor Day? It was one of those two. I don't remember which one. But it's a little unicorn. And it's just like, all the things about this project are literally just feeding my soul. This is the project that I have been grabbing for just like, I'm just gonna like have some really fun time. I love my progress keeper. I love my stitch marker. My bag brings me joy. This yarn brings me joy. This just like, I'm just really loving it. I'm loving working on this, and I'm really glad that I cast it on. And it's just, it's my happy project right now. And it's not like super complicated. It's not a massive Stephen West shawl, though I love those dearly and will definitely be casting more on and working on other ones that I have. But like, we can also find joy in the simple small things, and like, it's just a simple honey cowl, slip stitches, knit a row in between, super mindless, creates a beautiful fabric. Oh, I love it so much. So I'm glad that I did this, and I will be doing this again once this is finished, which it shouldn't take very long. So I will get to move my progress keeper, and hopefully by next week I will have a finished object to show you. The pattern is free, so if you're interested in knitting one of those, go to Ravelry and check it out. It is an awesome pattern. I think over 2,000 people have made them at this point. It's one of those like tried and true patterns since like the beginning of time of Ravelry, really. I don't remember a time where there wasn't a honey cowl pattern. I'm sure that's not true, but it seems that way because like it's such a good pattern. But the pattern calls for it to be 11 inches. I'm just gonna go until I run out of yarn, really, because though sometimes I want to save yarn, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just want to use up as much yarn as I possibly can because I love the yarn and I want it to, like, I want to use it all. So that's my goal with this. I'll just knit until I have enough to cast off and it'll be great. So who knows, it'd be really nice if next week I had a finished object for that. That would be really great. Or any other finished objects, really. I will take whatever finished object I can get at this point. So who knows? Who knows what will happen? I don't know. So really quickly, I don't have much time left on my SD card. So really quickly, baking wise, I just made a loaf of honey, technically whole wheat, but I didn't use whole wheat flour, so it's honey, all-purpose flour bread. And it's so good, and it's like, it's sweet, but it's not too sweet that you can't eat it with savory stuff. So like, for instance, this morning, I had a toasted piece of this bread with some avocado oil mayo mixed with some sriracha spread on top with a fried egg for breakfast with some everything bagel seasoning on top, and oh my goodness, so good. So good. Just really great. that's my baking. Not sure what I'm going to do this week. Not sure. Book-wise, I did finish some books. I read 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson, which was very good. It had a very unexpected ending, and it was just written very well. It's based off of the narrator, he works and co-owns a bookshop, and when he first started working there, he wrote a blog post for this bookshop that was a list of books that he said were the 8 perfect murders. And the story is about a copycat murderer, almost like going through this list and committing these murders in the ways of these books that he had put on the list. And why was it because of him? Was it just like some random person? All that jazz. Were they all connected? Very good. 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. Would highly recommend. It is very good. So that is all that I have for you guys this week. We had a lot of knitting, a lot of ranting and raving, a lot of random stories. But that's what the Cat Knit Podcast is. Lots of random rambles. Thank you so much for spending time with me, hanging out, listening to me chatter away, talk to the cat, who is still here, sound asleep with his nose pressed up against my leg, which is very sweet. He's just so snuggly. Like I said at the beginning, I have all the social medias, the show notes, yarn store information, all of that will be on my blog. If you are interested in that. If you have crafty plans, I hope your weekend was wonderful and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. I said that out of order, but that's okay. We got there in the end. Like I said, I've got a lot of stuff to work on. A lot of fun stuff. Stuff that is little mind-bendy. Love that. Stuff that is good for reading purposes. Stuff that brings me joy. And then just fun stuff that is like all of those things. It's mind-bendy. It can be good while reading. It does bring me joy. But yes, that would be the powder and dust shawl. Because lace, you know, it's not a reading project currently. It will eventually be, but not currently. Yes, hope you all are staying safe and healthy, and wherever you may be, that you can get out safely, do curbside, wear masks. We are all trying to figure it out here in Texas of what that means and the various stages of things being reopened and what does that mean. All that jazz. I know. And we're all supposed to be wearing masks. And we, some of us have wonderful mothers who make masks for us, which is really great. So mine are going to be really cute. I'm super excited. And yeah. So that's very fun. I mean, it's not fun, but we do what we best. We do what we best. We do what we can with the current situation. Yes. Thank you again so much for hanging out with me. I feel like I don't really know what to say at this point because I've said everything, I think. I don't know, but I think I have said everything. So, on that note, I'm going to go, and I'm going to go do some laundry first because that's the good adult thing to do, and then I'm going to play a little bit of Animal Crossing, and I am going to love it so much. I'm sure I'll talk about it again next week, so no worries there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. birdie footage because